show you 5 apps I use for online classes and education. Let's get started! Number 1. Duolingo. So, the first app we're going to talk about is Duolingo. Duolingo is an app that you use to learn a different language. So, I'm going to show you guys an example of what's inside Duolingo. So, let's do greetings. Start. Let's just wait for a little while. Okay, so the first exercise is, what do you hear? There's a voice that will say the French word and then you press the right answer. Okay, then let's continue. Now there's also a translate the sentence. If you don't know what that word means, you can press on it and you will see the answer. After you see the answer, you can now go and put the words. Check. Okay, so here's another what do you hear. When you press on the wrong answer and press check, they will tell you the correct answer. And then when you finish all the activities, you will see there's another thing like that, and so you can answer it again and correct it. Okay, so I'm back here at the home page. I'll show you guys more of it at a preview. So here's the home. And then yeah, I finished basic 1. You can also unlock stories when you reach checkpoint 1. Well, since I haven't finished checkpoint 1, that's the reason why I haven't unlocked it. There's also a profile, so you'll know about your profile. You can invite friends, achievements, and yeah, there's other stuff in your statics. It will tell you your streaks, total crowns, total XPs, and your league. And here is the ranks. Oh, and here is the shop. You can get streaks, your hearts, special offers, and outfits with Duolingo. I haven't shown you that when I was in the greetings because I didn't get to see that there's Duolingo. But yeah, Duolingo will also wear. We're also earning for the Super Duo outfit too. So here I'm back at the home page. I'll show a little bit more. I'm learning French, my brothers learn Japanese, and I'll show you a little bit of more courses. I'll show an example of what will happen when you press one of the courses. Let's say Korean. Just choose a path. Learn Korean for the first time. You can start from scratch, or already know some Korean. You can check your level there. So yeah, that's all about Duolingo and a preview. Now let's move on to the next app. Number 2, Forest. Okay, so let's talk about this next app. This app is called Forest. Forest is like an app or like a timer to manage your working and studying time. And you use this so you could not use the phone, stopping studying. You can use, and then you turn on this app. You can't leave the app because your tree is gonna die. Okay, let's plant. And there's also those called cancel button, and it has a timer. There's only 10 seconds before you cancel it. You have to press it if you don't want to continue your planting, but if you do, then don't press it. Oh yeah, there's also saying like go back to your work. And there's a button called give up, and when if you press it, you press the give up button, it says there will be one withered tree or trees in your forest. If you press yes, and there you got a withered tree. There's also a button where you can find out why you failed. You can also name your tree. Let's say tree. Let's just name tree. You can also go back up this forest thing. You could record your planting. And yeah, have it planted. So here's an example. Those are the withered trees and those the healthy trees. And here's a beautiful example of my forest. So we have 7 trees that has leaves, and there's 5 trees that doesn't have leaves. Also, the main purpose of this app is to focus on your work, not on the phone. If you're an Android user, this is actually free. If you're an Apple user, it's not. Okay, so let's move on to the next app. Number 3, Notion. Okay, so let's talk about this another app called Notion. Notion is like an app you use for planning or note-taking stuff. Here's an example of what I use Notion for. So let's go to my school notes. And here I have my school notes and my notebooks. I'll show you what my notes look like here. Here's an example. I have here my notes called the skeletal system with Mr. Skelly. And I mostly write my notes like this, like a toggle list. So when I'm gonna review, you'll tell yourself, what is a skeletal system? And when you press the toggle button, it will tell what the answer is. So that's all about my notes on Notion. So let me just go up a bit. And here you can add an icon. It's customizable, and a cover. It's also customizable. So let me show you my other stuff here in Notion. So let's move on to the next one. I'll show you now my weekly planner. So what I use for my weekly planner is like a to-do. I only put 3 things in my to-do. So I only have a highest priority, medium priority, lowest priority. Also, what I have here in this area, I have a backlog, a progress, and a complete. So here we're gonna use my project planner. Okay, so I'm gonna make an example of how to make a task. So let me press new. Then I'm gonna type school project. Here you can also add a priority. You can add it on first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. For now, I will not do it. There's also a timeline. You can also add a timeline. It's a duration of your task. You can also add a reminder for a project. And there's also called the thing property. Also, like the same thing from earlier, you can also add an icon and a cover. But for me, I don't actually add those stuff because I will still take time to make one. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you my favorite part is called the drag and drop. So I'm gonna get the school project to my in progress, and then if I'm done doing that, I can now put it in my complete section. And that's how you do the drag and drop thing. Short description about the project planner. A project planner is a planner where you put all of your tasks, especially when you have a lot of them. And that's all about Notion. Now let's move on to the next app. Number 4, Zoom. So this next app we're gonna talk about is called Zoom, and I think you guys heard about it, and you guys are gonna use it for online classes, so we're not gonna go with too much. So here we have a join meeting. You can add your name, and there's also a thing called meeting ID or your personal link name, so you can join that meeting. There's also the meeting list history too. There's also things like this, like remember many of our future meetings, don't connect to audio, or turn off my video. You can choose either of those stuff. I'll show you another screen. So here, this is a home when you open. There's actually 2 of them, but sometimes it doesn't pop up like this. I think it will pop up when you have ended a meeting or stuff like that. So yeah, here's mostly the Zoom. I can't do something like that or join a meeting. I can show you guys an example what it looks like there, so I'll show you this one instead. So here what it looks like when you join a meeting, but when you join in Zoom, it will not really look like this. This is what I look like imagined in my head. Okay, so that's all about Zoom. Let's go to the next one. Number 5, Google Docs. So this next website we're gonna talk about is actually not an app. There's this called Google Docs. You can access other Google stuff with this app, or you can also access like Google Drive, Slides, and stuff like that. There's also this amazing tool you can use. If you're the person that doesn't like typing that much, you could use this tool called voice typing. And everything that you say, the Google Docs will type it for you. You just have to change the language. Let's say your language is Japanese. You could use and change it, and then you can talk, but you still have to access the microphone using Google Docs first. There you go. There's also translate this document too. It's kind of interesting that you can like highlight, select the typing thingy, and then you could choose the language you wanted to. So yeah, that's about the typing. You could also change the fonts. You can choose from Arial, Comic Sans, and other more. There's also called this. There's different kinds of tabs like the file, edit, view, insert format tools, add-on, and help. And yeah, I think that's all about I can talk about Google Docs. Wait, before you leave this video, I have one more thing to add. It's called the Bible app, YouVersion. The YouVersion Bible app is a free Bible version of your Bibles, daily verses, and devotionals. On more than 350 million devices around the world, people are reading, listening to, watching, and sharing the Bible every day using the YouVersion Bible app. Completely free. You can just read, or you can find plans what suits for you. The one we are currently reading is the Own It 365 whole Bible plan. I'm already at day 25, and this is what I'm reading now. I'm also reading with my parents. Brother's reading is the Reading God's Story 1 year chronological plan. He's actually in day 36. This is our saved plans, and this is our completed plans. You can also search other things here in the search, like Bible stories and more. There's also the streak and your perfect weeks. We're on a current streak of 63 and we're perfect weeks of 8, but I think it's not. This is the settings of the app. And that's all about the Bible app, the bonus app. If you're interested to use Notion, please use the link in the description box.
Thanks for watching.
If you like our video, like, subscribe, or comment down below.
See you on our next video.